And I'm Debbie, and together
we are the Roundtable Recap.
Hey, welcome. We are doing a new series on Amazing Race, and starting off, we are actually going to kick it off with episode 2, but this is season, do you know?
38.
38 of Amazing Race. Oh, wow. Okay. So I'm going to preface this with maybe I watched the first season years ago, but I haven't watched it in so long. So this episode or this season, there's a lot, or actually all of them are from Big Brother. You got duos that are couples, you got duos that are family, you got and I think friends as well. But it's a mix.
Right.
So
there just has to be.
Oh.
There has to be. Yeah, I think the whole premise was there was one person with a Big Brother history, and then whoever they chose, some type of relationship. So yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it's a spinoff of that. In this episode, they're going from starting off in the Netherlands, and they're going to Prague. And okay, so this is where I was like, because they go in, a certain order based on how they finished the race off the last episode. But it seemed like the order really didn't help for most of the part, because a lot of them, when they went to the train station, they all got the same arrival time. So
yeah,
they lose their lead.
Yeah, and that of course I have watched Amazing Race for many years. I think the only time I took a break was during 2020, when everything changed, and they couldn't travel and all that. But yeah, that's always been the case. They've always it used to be worse with the airlines, because the airlines, if they didn't catch a certain flight, then that would put them way behind the other teams, and they wouldn't be able to catch up in the game, which was unfortunate. So at least this, going by trains and stuff, yes, it does kind of even the playing field, at sometimes, but it doesn't put any team so far behind that they can't catch up during the game.
Okay. Yeah. And I see there's pros and cons to working with other teams, because they, as you saw, there's a big chunk of duos that got off at the wrong stop. And someone was like, this is our stop. And all of them just got off and together and, realized, oh no, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I think was 8 teams. Yeah, 8 teams took the train from Amsterdam to Dresden to Prague. And they had a layover in Berlin, and they got off at the wrong Berlin station. But what I liked was the fact that, the majority of them, 5 of the teams, 5 of them decided to just get back on that same train route and, and just play catch up, continue on to Dresden and then Prague. Whereas the other 3 teams took it as an advantage, hey, is there a different train? Can we get in earlier? And
I thought that was really smart.
Yeah. So I always like that in the, that's part of the Amazing Race, is to, always find the advantage. And so those 3 teams actually found a direct route to Prague and were able to, jump ahead of the other teams. So yeah, I thought that was good.
Yeah.
And then you have,
okay. So there is ways to navigate where you don't necessarily have to just it's one way.
right.
As far as getting to the different destinations. So I was like, okay, cool. There is, obviously it's a game, so there's strategic play, but yeah, there's ways that the players can take advantage.
Yes. Yeah. And then of course, then you have some that came in towards the back of the pack. And so, they weren't able to catch the one that went through Berlin. They had to go through Frankfurt.
Yeah.
And those 3 of those, the 3 teams that went through Frankfurt, that they got to Frankfurt, and then the train to Prague was canceled.
Yeah.
And yeah. Yeah. So then they ended up having to catch a train to, I can't remember the name, Regensburg or something like that. Anyways, that's where they caught up with the last team.
Yeah.
So I always have to laugh when that happens, because you think you have one team that's so far behind, and then and then all of a sudden it catches them up. But I mean, what did you think about Megan and Matt? They were the last team. They were in the back. They were
Yeah.
remember?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I thought they were doing good. Um I liked how
Yeah,
they were like, oh, we felt I can't remember what they said, but like we felt hopeless, and then when they saw the other people on the train, they're like, oh, we got renewed hope, and it like re-sparked them. So, um,
yeah,
but I mean, I always like that people are so level-headed, because sometimes, yeah, you get into a spot and you're like, ah, and then as you see like throughout the episode, some got frustrated, or, kind of had a little bit of a breakdown because they are running without sleep. And so,
yeah. Yeah, I always like that, to see how, I mean, that's part of the game too, to see how people cope under stress, to
mhm.
see about the, will your team survive during those
Yeah,
stressful situations. I thought Megan and Matt, although they were running behind, they still kept a good attitude. There was a couple of them that had really good attitudes.
yeah,
Of course, Jazz and Jack, the ones that pretty much led this whole lake.
yeah.
Of course, they obviously had a good attitude, but they were way out in front. But the fact that they worked with the other two teams,
Yeah, because the top three
um,
teams like worked together really closely throughout the
yeah,
whole episode.
yeah. So that was good, because a lot of times what happens is that whoever's out in front will just take off and and leave everybody else behind. But they didn't do that
Mhm.
in this case, and it's so unusual for like somebody from Big Brother to do that, to kind of look out for the others. So it was nice to
Yeah.
see that they're working together.
Yeah, and I mean, even after they, do the whole train ride, and their first, like, to get to the clue, they have to go up on that ledge. Like, oh, I
Yes,
don't know if I
yeah,
could do that. It's like, just there's no sides. There's like nothing to hang on to. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I could do that. Yeah. I mean, it's not far that they have to walk out, but I mean, up so high and nothing, it's far. And like, yeah. I mean, even was that duo team that's like the daughter and the mom, and the mom's like, I can't watch, and it's like the
I
daughter's
know,
the one that's out there on the ledge.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. What did they say? It was like 255 feet high. Yeah, there's no way. I felt bad for, was it Adam, Joseph and Adam. So Adam is the one that's a diabetic. I felt
hmm
so bad for him. Like he was like, no, no, I can't do it. No, can't do it.
yeah, yeah. Some really, really struggled. I mean, yeah. Others they just okay, yeah, boop, boop, boop. But I
I
mean, even
know.
I don't know. I think I would have to like get on like crawl across, because then
I know.
they had to not only like walk, but then they had to get down to get to pull up the clue underneath. And oh
Right,
my god,
right.
yeah,
Yeah, because that's what I thought. I thought, well, okay, yeah, it looked good when they sat down. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. But then I'm thinking, oh my gosh, now they have to stand back up. That's
yeah,
like, that's worse than sitting down.
yeah. I'm like, couldn't they just shimmy? Like I would just kind of like shimmy myself, like
I would go backwards.
yeah, like just I'm good, just shimmy. Like I could do that, but to get back up,
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to say. I mean, they didn't, at least it didn't say in the rules that they had to walk.
yeah,
So yeah, as long as they were able to retrieve the clue, I think that
yeah.
was,
Crawl
didn't
across,
matter.
go get it, go get
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Like in past episodes, you have some people that are so afraid of heights that, yeah, that's the only way that they can do it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that would be me. But yeah, like okay, so like moving on to the second, where they had to do the cups with the colors for the order. And as you said, the two brothers, I mean, they jump ahead because they get it. But then you have those other two, the second place and the third place duos that they got suckered in because someone said like they pulled them into like a party,
oh,
and
right,
they're like,
yeah.
this is not even the right place. So
Yeah, Yeah, because that was at the detour, so they had a choice between either doing the delivering the goblets or
That
remember the chair.
But yeah, those remember the
Yeah.
chair ones. Oh my gosh, no.
Yeah, I think with Amazing Race, any memorization, anything like that, it's like no, just do the legwork. That's the one I would have picked. Yeah, but yeah, it was funny. Yeah, because the Jazz and Jack they pulled ahead of the other two teams of Natalie and Stephanie and of Joseph and Adam, and then Joseph and Adam and Natalie and Stephanie are together, and when they get pulled into that pub, it's like, okay, we're here to deliver, and they're like, there's nobody. What are you talking about?
Yeah. So I thought it was good though, because obviously the two saw the other two teams struggling on where to go, and they're like, help them to say this is the first place, and then they're like, stay on this street for the rest of the deliveries. So I thought that was nice because
again, they didn't have to do that. They didn't have to give them any clues. They could have, because what you see again so often is whoever's in first, they just kind of leave everybody else behind because they want that big lead. And the fact that they stayed and led them to like one of the drop off to one of the vendors. That was really nice. So that those three stayed in the front. Those three teams stayed in the front.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And all throughout, you can really see there is like a big gap between like the group of leading, the group in the middle, and then the last group. Like they were like really spread out, or at least that's what it showed it to be. There's a big space.
Yeah, I was trying to remember the times, but I know because the first three teams, they took that direct. They basically took lemons and made lemonade in Berlin. And they were able to get in an hour before the next group. So they were able to get in at 8:12. And I think the next group that had missed the train and had to, and then they got back on the same route. I think they came in an hour or maybe a little over an hour later. And then the last team that where the train was canceled in Frankfurt, who knows how far behind they were. I think they were pretty far. I think they were pretty far back.
Yeah, for sure. And then I have because like you said, they had the two different options, and I really felt bad for Christina and Rabina. Maybe I wrote down the with the memorizations and like having to remember which flag and how to pronounce the name. I would have struggled. Yeah,
I know. I felt so bad for them because I wrote down.
I think they did it like 9 times or something. It was.
I was going to say, it took them a long. It took them a long time. I'm trying. Yeah, I guess I don't know. I'm going to say about 9 times. I thought I wrote it down, but I can't remember how much it was.
Yeah, so that was like. Pretty much it was like the episode was like following the first 3, and then like not even halfway through they're done. They already made it. And then here's all the strugglers that are like well,
what did you think about the brothers Tucker and Eric? Because you're supposed to follow the clues, and Tucker and Eric, they're a strong team. They're the two brothers that they're in the race. You could tell they're just for themselves. They're not interested in any alliance. But when they were supposed to go to the detour, they finished the roadblock, which was the height, doing the height thing. Then they were supposed to go to the detour, and instead they ended up at the Joseph Mans statue, which is where the clue for the pit stop was.
Yeah,
remember? And then they thought the race was done, and so they run to the pit stop.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's a con of not trying to work with anybody at this point in the game. I mean, and I wouldn't see why not to work. There's so many different teams out there that I feel like it's an event. You might as well take advantage of the extra help, and then obviously at some point, yes, it's every team for themselves, but yeah, it definitely did not help them out.
Yeah, but I mean, again, you'll see a lot of, people have different strategies on the Amazing Race, and and theirs is not uncommon to just run the race by themselves, but it does help if you have an alliance that you can trust.
Yeah, for sure.
But so they checked in as Team 4, so then they had to go back out on the course to finish the detour. So they ended up with the others at the Remember the Chair, and then they just they were able to get it. Well, I think it took them 6 tries to get it, but then since they already knew where to go, they all they had to do is run to the statue and then run to the pit stop, because they already knew. They're like, they still made Team 4, which was pretty impressive.
I know. I was actually surprised that they were able to still beat the other teams, because for sure I thought it was they were going to put themselves way behind for going out of the way to come back into the way. But
and I was impressed with Izzy and Paige on, again, this anything with memorization. Anybody that does it well, I'm always impressed with. But they were able to get that challenge on their first attempt.
I know, and it's not like it's like 4 flags, or like, I mean, how many were there? There were 8? No, maybe more. I'm trying to remember.
I think
maybe 10. I don't know.
There was a lot.
There was a lot, and
there was a lot.
Like I said, it's a different language. Everything. It's a lot, and they're running off of little sleep.
Yeah, and you had to know the flag, and you had to know how to pronounce it. I mean, there's.
Yeah, no, just give me the goblets. I'll go do the delivery. Nope.
Yeah. But the last 2 teams on the course were Megan and Matt, and Angela and Lexi were the last 2.
Yeah.
So, and that was close. That was a close, because they finished about the same time. So then it was just a matter of a foot race to get to the final
place. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that it showed that it was like so close. Like they both finished the detour at about the same time. But in reality, I wonder, how close is it actually? Like, are they like 30 minutes apart? Are they an hour apart? But the way that it's edited, it makes it look like they're head
and head. But who's going to win? Who's going to make it? Yeah.
So, but in the end, it was Angela and Lexi that were eliminated.
Yeah. So it was a good episode to come back in and refresh, the Amazing Race for me, because like I said, I haven't seen it in years. So I feel like this season will be exciting, and we'll see where the race takes them. So stay tuned for next week.
Yay!
See you guys there.